Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Toon in 10. My name's Adam, and that is Vince. Pete is helping Santa and the elves with all the presents. Promise you we haven't fallen out. But it's been a much better week. We've just beaten Burton Albion 2-1. So we're better to start the episode. It's almost like a Christmas edition, this, Vince. Close to a Christmas edition. That's why I've decided to dress up a little bit smart for this one. But let's crack on with the first half. As always, 5 minutes a half. And, well, let's just talk about tonight's victory at Burton Albion. Time at the ready and go! It's been quite a week in terms of responding to...
Well, we could call it was Birmingham, wasn't it? If you look at that run, Birmingham, Wigan, Burton,
we smashed
BWB.
it. We've smashed it. Well, the previous
BBW, Big Beautiful Women.
That's not what we are advocating in this football podcast, but we do advocate 9 points, 1 out of 9. Yeah. After a week of 3 defeats, things were a little bit sketchy going into that Birmingham game. Yeah. But by all accounts, well, we turned it round, and I mean we'll talk about that in a bit. But this Burton game was the first time we've ever played Burton. It's the first meeting between the two sides.
Do you remember all the memes at the start of the season with Mitrovic going, "What is a Burton Albion?"
Yeah, enjoy Burton Albion.
Yeah, they were used
on a Saturday afternoon. And with 1,700 travelling fans today, I think Newcastle fans have kind of said a big, well, yeah, thanks very much. We will enjoy it, and we are enjoying it. 2-1 victory. It's another Gale goal. I believe it's like the 17th of the season, and Diame. We'll talk about a bit later on, but again, it's so important to assert our dominance on the league again. And currently, Brighton are playing Birmingham now, so I don't really know the result of that.
Regardless of that, though, the key thing we mentioned a couple of episodes
Christmas number 1.
Well, not just that. The key thing we mentioned a couple of episodes ago is that gap between third place is now 9 points.
9 points again, which it previously had been, but we'd lost that momentum down to 6. Yeah. We now are again at 9 points, which, again, I think if this time, I know we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, this time, if we can extend upon that gap between first and third, that's the most important thing.
What I like, though, is, look, the Blackburn game, they came to stop us playing, they came to destroy us, and they executed well. It was combined with us not having a great day, not really going for the jugular early enough. I think the whole game, it was penalties.
It could have gone either way. It really could have gone, and we probably should have won that.
We didn't deserve to lose against Forest, so even though it's 3 losses on the bounce, I didn't...
Sort of like mitigating factors and all, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's not like we lost our form, we lost the games.
And even in
our form was good.
And even in the Forest game, we battled with 9 players.
And scored, we won...
So you're right, we've never been turned over in that blip of a
Birmingham
week.
game...
That was back to form, back to true form. A perfect hat-trick from Dwight Gale. Yeah. You saw Mo Diame at the centre of everything in that game. Wigan again, Mo Diame coming up with a goal.
Classy that he didn't celebrate, I thought.
I'm not a fan of the not celebrate.
I like it.
He didn't. It wasn't even his last club. Like it's been years since he left.
It's a nice sign.
Celebrate,
man,
Mo.
Classy,
Mo, man, you've been waiting for this form. Enjoy it. No. Drink it in, my friend. And Atsu as well. It's great to see him getting a start today as well. And reward for fine form. A lot of people saying we should sign him outright. But Gale again is just unstoppable. Our defence this week, out of the 3 games, conceded 1 goal.
Is there anything Mitrovic can do to usurp Gale from that place?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think as everyone in here who watches this and listens to this podcast will know, I'm a massive Mitrovic fan. However, how can you drop Dwight Gale when he scored 17 goals? He scored more than Sunderland have this season.
That Daryl Murphy signing, it still rankles with me. 5 million for him.
I don't
know why we signed him.
No, I think we signed him in case of injury, which hasn't happened. Yeah. Injury or poor form for competition, and the fact that we haven't had to use him is probably a good thing.
Well, when you've got such a prize as the Premier League at stake.
Well, he bought sells because he didn't want a goalkeeping crisis like we suffered the season before. I mean, we say a crisis. Darlow and Elliott came in and did very well. But I think it's back up, and the stronger in depth of squad that we've got, the more chance we've got to progress.
But brilliant. Three wins on the bounce.
3 wins on the bounce, and another couple of away. A home smashing against Birmingham.
Bear in mind,
another two away victories.
Birmingham were in good form at that point.
And Gary Rowett going, we essentially put the final nail in his coffin. But Zola for Rowett, not
but
for
to
me.
get 3 wins, tricky week, 3 games played in the space of 7 days,
and then going into Christmas,
2 of them away. Yeah,
you can't. And there was a lot. There's a lot of buzz about the Burton game, obviously, because it was the joke. But you know, they are hovering above the relegation zone. Like now, I think they're one place above. But you go to anybody away, it's going to be tricky.
We've seen it out.
But they've been absolutely spectacular. Oh, and that's the end of the first half. 9 points out of 9.
Christmas has come early.
Burton Albion got the Brewers droop this afternoon. Yes! Really wanted to get that
That's
in.
definitely the video headline.
I've been waiting to get that in all the time.
Tagline, Brewers Droop.
Brewers droop. But not for Rafa. Get in. We'll be back after this. Hello and welcome back to the second half of the Toon in 10. We just beat Burton Albion 2-1 today. Get in! And Captain, as we said in the first half, a fine week. A return to form. 9 out of 9 points collected and 9 points clear of third. Now, a man who's been key to this week's resurgent form, I've got to say he's a man who's been up for a lot of criticism, and rightly so, and by his own admission as well. I'll get the time on the ready. Second half, let's talk about Mr. Momo Diame. Time ready and go!
The first half we titled Brewers Droop. I think this half we should be More Diame, No Problems.
Hey!
In the style of Biggie Smalls.
Nice.
But I hold my hands up. I didn't think Diame deserved his place in the team for the majority of this
Well, I think
season.
I think he actually didn't.
Yeah.
But for what, I mean, what do you think? What is it? What has clicked? What clicked on Saturday against Birmingham?
That assist for Birmingham.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was at the heart of everything. He was
just cross it in, little step over.
But all of the goals, he was involved in the build-up, and it's this driving from midfield that which I always thought I knew of him from yeah, exactly. Which I always thought I knew of him from his days at Wigan, from West Ham. This getting box to box, driving through, pop up with a goal every now and again, a few assists as well. But that I think we finally saw the true Mo Diame against Birmingham.
And then Wigan, and today, 3 on the bounce.
He's got momentum. What is it? Is it one of those things where Rafa's just got him to click? Has he just suddenly decided to pull his finger out and think, do you know what? I'm not playing well enough here. This isn't good enough. I'm better than this.
I think it can't be a coincidence to me that this form has come shortly after he was dropped for Perez. That was about a month ago.
Yeah.
Perez got his place, and Perez didn't
shine.
To show it.
He didn't shine.
Perez didn't take his opportunity, so Diame's come back in and he's realised, well, Perez is waiting to take place. I was a bit disappointed by Perez because I thought Perez would have been a class act in this division.
Yeah, I think a lot of us
thought
did.
there would have been space for him.
But I mean, he's proved a lot of us wrong. I mean, I even wrote an article a couple of weeks ago about this number 10 role. Is it working? Perez failed in it. Diame has failed in it. Yet this week, Mo Diame has seemingly made this position his own and has proven to everybody, Rafa included, that it can work and he is the right man for that role. Is that fair to say? He's got this chemistry with Gale as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I mean, he compares unfavourably with Sissoko. What I've seen of Diame over the past 3 games is a better run of form than I ever saw Sissoko.
It's a fair point.
Honestly,
it's a fair point.
And
yeah.
if this is the player that we got in that so-called position, because Diame does drift out to the right wing, that's where his cross came from for Gale's first against Birmingham. He does drift out that. And I was seeing him, and I saw shades of. Obviously, I haven't seen the away games. Saw the home game. I was there live. Saw shades of Sissoko at his best, and he's kept that going for 3 games. And when you think he was at 10% of the price, yeah, it's clicked. I just hope it continues because on this form, he's unstoppable and we're unstoppable.
And if we look ahead, I mean, we need to start thinking about the very real possibility that John Joe Shelvey might not be available. So we're going to need somebody to step up, somebody senior. And Mo Diame is supposed to be one of the senior members of the squad. He's got the most Premier League,
hundreds of Premier League appearances.
And he's been around for a long time. He's sort of, he's right at the peak of his career. You'd argue.
Is he going to the AFCON? That's something that hasn't been mentioned actually. I don't know.
I don't know either. There's a possibility, and certainly not on the form before this last week. But maybe he's hit form at the wrong time.
We'll fact check that. We'll get Stato to
or if you know, comment below.
Let us know. Diame going to the African Cup of Nations?
Let's kind of hope not actually. Because what we do need at the minute is consistency, and if we can get through this run of the festive programme of fixtures, I think if we can get into February in a similar kind of position to where we are now, I think we'll not drop that momentum at all. I find it very hard to believe that we're not going to finish in the top 2. I think Brighton are going really good guns at the minute. They could really
even squad depth with Brighton though, that's the thing.
Well, that's it as well. I mean, January is going to be important for I think everybody at the top. There's going to be a lot of mid-table teams wanting to recruit to push it.
Villa will throw money at it again.
Villa will throw money, and they've got a new manager, so they'll want to sort of support him. But there's a even McLaren with Derby and
Norwich have dropped off.
Norwich have dropped off a bit, but they're still within reach of the playoffs.
Birmingham will probably throw a bit of money at Zola.
Yeah, it's a funny one, that Zola. I still think it's funny, but I just think Diame is the kind of player who should be scoring.
See,
he should be scoring like 7-8 goals a season. He should be assisting about 10. That's the kind of guy he is.
I think with Diame clicking, with Atsu clicking, I think the only position we haven't got first choice is right back. I still can't pick between Yedlin and Nita. I think the rest of the team pick themselves. I think our middle 2 should always be Hayden and Shelvey. I think our front 3, Richie, Diame, Atsu. I just think right back.
I'm not sure. I think Yedlin's a bit raw around the edges, but I'd probably go for him for his youthful vigour and athleticism.
So you think we've now got a first choice 11 settled then? Because quite consistently has been that.
Yeah, I'd probably say we are. Yeah, I'd probably say we are.
I think this tinkering is dropping off. We don't see as much now, do we?
No, we absolutely don't. I mean, we saw a lot of changes for, like, say, the whole game last, but the changes made this week throughout the 3 games have been sort of negligible, really.
I just think the right back position. Anyway.
Right. Well, thank you very much for watching. Once more, top of the league, regardless of what happens with Brighton. I've been Adam. That's been Vince. You've been listening to or watching the Toon Network, the Toon in 10 podcast. Share with all your friends. Subscribe to us on YouTube, on iTunes, on SoundCloud. Get us on Facebook, Twitter.
All the ways.
Just all of the ways, all of the things of the social ways.
Ram it down the throat.
If we don't see you before, a Merry Christmas from everyone, including Pete from the Toon Network, to all of you. And we'll see you very soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Not to listen to some Biggie. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper heavy dear for the limousine.
I'm coming.
All right, easy. I hope not.